Hello, and welcome to episode number 41 of the Rabe Creations Crochet and Cross Stitch podcast. My name's Nicole, and I'm coming to you from Calgary, Alberta, here in Canada, where I live with my husband, Barry, and my wonderful rescued Rottweiler named Grace. And we are freezing. It has been extremely cold here. Today, temperatures, well, for the past 3 days and until Saturday or Sunday, they are now saying that our temperatures will be hovering at a daytime high of about minus 30, and that is degrees Celsius, and that with wind chill, that could be dipping down into the minus 42s. You heard that correctly, minus 42. To put that into perspective, the Celsius and Fahrenheit scales meet at minus 40. Yeah, it's not warm out there. To top it all off, if you watched my video last week, you'll know that I was feeling a little under the weather. Yeah, that's not gone away. What started out as the flu has now progressed to being a full-on head cold. I have taken large amounts of Dayquil today to try and record this podcast, but I will try and keep the sniffling to a minimum, the sneezing to a minimum, the watering eyes. Oh, this is a nasty, nasty cold. I can hear it in my voice. I'm not sure if you can or not, but yeah, we'll see how this goes. Alrighty, so getting right into it. One of the reasons why I had to record today and I couldn't postpone any longer is today is a very special day. It's pattern release day. I have released the Nanton Cowl pattern. I'm wearing one and I can show you the other one I've got here. So I released this pattern today. It is up and ready for download. It is available in my Etsy shop, and that's the Rabe Creations in Etsy, or on Ravelry as well. I know not everybody uses Ravelry and not everybody uses Etsy, so hopefully between the two, there will be a way for you to get the pattern. It does use between 7 and 8 mini skeins of hand-dyed yarn, so it's great for using up all of those mini skeins, well, at least 7 or 8 of those mini skeins that you got in advent calendars this year, or perhaps you've just, like me, been collecting them over the years, and there is no way I'm ever going to make enough socks to need that many heels, toes, and cuffs. So, the Nanton Cowl, it is live, it is ready to go. It has some really interesting stitch work in it. It's got lots of texture, lots of color changes. I chose not to control my color changes, so I just tied all my minis together in a magic knot mini ball, and as the colors changed, they changed. Other people have my testers. I had one tester who did it in a solid color. I had another tester who was able to, oh, here comes Grace, who was able to control the colors a little bit more. So she started and ended colors at the changes in stitch patterns. So all in all, it's a very forgiving pattern. You can do a lot with it. If you wanted to make the cowl even longer than it is, you could just keep repeating the different stitch patterns until it was as long as you wanted it to be. So that is the Nanton Cowl, and yay, it's ready to go. So if you, like me, are freezing and need to wear all of the wool and all of the knit things, then by all means, go check it out. All right, so getting into some other yarny goodness, I will start out with my latest experiment that came from the dye pot. So these 2 skeins are my latest skeins of yarn that I have hand dyed myself. It's actually a two-day dye process this time. I started out with English walnut. Now, English walnuts are the walnuts that you get in the grocery stores around Christmas time. You can also dye using black walnuts, which are, they grow in Ontario here in Canada, and I believe potentially in BC as well. I may be wrong there. I know they grow in Ontario, and they give a very dark brown color. As you can see, this is the walnut part of the yarn, and it didn't get very dark. It's more of a tanny yellow color. So I decided once it was dyed with the walnut, I let it dry, decided I wasn't entirely happy with the color that I got. So I whipped up some black bean dye. Black bean is a cold dye process, so I whipped up some of that, and I did some dyeing techniques using, over-dyeing techniques using the black bean. So I'll unskein these to show you the two different techniques that I did. So this skein was dyed, as I said, originally with the walnut, and that's the color from the walnut. And then I dip dyed it into black bean, and that is the color from the black bean. So I've gotten a skein that is just about perfectly split in half with the two different colors. On the other side, I decided to do some resisted dyeing. So I used some elastics. I took the skein of walnut dyed yarn and bundled it. I folded it in half, and then I used elastics, and I put 3 different elastics very tightly around the yarn. It's reminiscent of when you may or may not, I know I did, tie-dyeing as a kid, when you tie-dyed t-shirts and you tie up the t-shirt and dip it in the dye, and you get all those interesting techniques. So it's a resist dye, and that's what I did with this one. So it's given an interesting pattern of blue and brown worked together. So when these get worked up, they will give 2 very different color patterns and pooling patterns with the yarn. If you are interested in any of my hand-dyed yarn, I do have skeins listed in Etsy. Yeah, so you can get some skeins of hand-dyed yarn. This is a fingering weight. I also have, not in this colorway, but I do have other skeins in my Etsy shop that are a sport weight or a DK weight. All right. I am going to collect together a little bit of my crochet. I will be right back and show you what I have been getting up to with my crochet hooks. Be right back. All right, so on the crochet front, excuse me while I turn to the side here, I have been continuing my dishcloth making. As I discussed last podcast, I am attempting to restock my inventory for my markets, as well as I have been making a couple for myself as well. And I'll explain in a second. So I've been using up a lot of my scrap cotton to be able to make these dishcloths, and yeah, I've made an additional 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 this week. So let me show you which ones I have completed this week. So there's one. And again, it is that same pattern that I talked about last week, where it's just a ribbed pattern. But I really like what that does to especially some of these variegated cottons. I think it creates really neat patterning. And it's a nice texture for washing the dishes. I can show you this one. Now this one is not, the first one was made with the Karen cotton cakes, or Karen just handicrafter cotton, sorry. So it is 100% cotton. These ones are the ones that are made with the cotton cakes, and they are a cotton acrylic blend, but I have tested them out and they do work well as dishcloths. So there's that one in the varying shades of blue. And let me see. This one is again another handicrafter cotton. So that thicker cotton. This one, again, handicrafter cotton. And this one started to get a little bit scrappy, but the colors still go quite nicely together. So I think I will put that into my inventory. Now the last 2 I'm going to show you are scrappy. So they're actually just going to go into my personal dishcloth rotation. I think they are a little too scrappy to go into the for sale bin because the colors don't actually go together, but they'll be perfect for my kitchen. So there's this one, and whoa, a riot of color in this one. So I've actually completed another 4 to put into my inventory and 2 to go into my linen closet. All right, we also talked last week about the the shawl wrap that I was making, the wrap scarf, to go into my inventory for markets in the buffalo plaid type of a colorway, and I am nearly completed. So let me show you where I'm at. So this is where I'm at now. I probably have another 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I would say 6 rows to go. All my ends hanging out there. Another 6 rows to go, and then I believe it will be long enough. And then I'm going to be looking at putting a border around it. Now for the border, I'm not entirely sure what I'm planning yet. Initially, I thought I would just do a simple single crochet border around the entire outside. But the more I've been thinking about it, the more I think I want something a little more special than that. Not lacy, because I don't think that will go with the buffalo plaid feel, but a little more special. So I am going to be playing around with a ribbed border. And I'm going to do it, well, I'm going to try to do it like you would do if you were doing socks, toe-up socks, and adding the rib at the end, where you sort of work the rib not around and around, but you do it in rows up and down, connecting to the sock, in that case, at the bottom of every round. So you'd do up a chain, and then you work back along your chain in the back loop, and then you attach it with a single crochet or a slip stitch to the top of the sock, and then you go back up and then back down and then back up and back down, and every time you come down you attach it to the top of the sock. And I think I can figure out something for the wrap like that, just to give it a little more detail without making it lacy. I don't want it to have a lacy border, because I don't think that will work. So those are the 2 things I have been mainly hooking on this week. Yeah, the face cloths, and then continuing to work on the design for the wrap, the scarf wrap. So yes, let us get into some cross stitch now. So starting out, I can report that over the past, I guess it's been about 7 days, because I talked to you last Monday and today is Wednesday. So I have done about 2,509 stitches. Now I know that seems like a lot, and it was, but partly that's because one of the projects that I'm not going to be showing you today is my first design that I plan to be releasing in the next week or so. My first cross-stitch design, and it is a Valentine's pattern. That's why I want to get it out quickly. I'm not going to show that until it's completely ready to go, but I've put nearly 1,000 stitches into that. So we have to sort of keep that in mind, that it wasn't all just, you know, recreational stitching. Some of this was work stitching as well. But the 2 projects that I'm going to show to you today, one is called Autumn Tree and one is called Bee. Now, sorry while I lean over. For Bee, I don't have a cover shot of this one. It is a PDF pattern download from the internet, and the designer is Emily Morris. So all I have printed out is the actual pattern, and I can't show that to you. But this should give you a good indication of where we're at. So this is the wing of the bee, and this is the beginning of the bee body. Now, I would have gotten significantly further on this, but in my cold-induced lack of attention paying, I initially started stitching this black part in the wrong color and got a little over 100 stitches in and realized that, I don't think that's right. Double checked, and sure enough, I was using the wrong thread. So I had to go and rip all of that back out. And interestingly enough, it's called frogging in both worlds, crochet and cross stitch. But I had to pull that all back out and start over again. So this is where I'm at. with B, and I put 604 stitches into B this week. Mainly on the weekend, sitting on the couch. My family had gone off to a motorcycle show and I was far too sick to join them. So I sat all day and cross-stitched on the couch because that's all I had the brain power to do. And I have also been stitching on Autumn Tree. Now, Autumn Tree is a chart that I actually won from a YouTube channel, 911 Stitcher. I won this pattern in one of her mystery chart giveaways. And here is the cover page of that chart. It is a Barbara Anna design, and it's called Autumn Tree. And I really like this. It's very whimsical. It's got a little person down in the corner. It's got some toadstools, a little fox, some crows in the tree, some really interesting work with the tree. Now, what makes this piece a little bit different is that it is not done on, I'm not doing it on Aida. I decided to try my hand at some linen, and I ordered this beautiful piece of linen from, I want to say hand dyed by Yolanda. I will link everything down below. If not there, from 123 Stitch. I will figure it out and put it down below. But that is where I've gotten to so far with Autumn Tree. And for Autumn Tree, I put in, oh my goodness, I'm sorry. I put in 208 stitches into Autumn Tree this week. And that's it there. So very cute. I'm really, really liking this design. There is another pattern, again, by Barbara Anna Designs, called Oh Christmas Tree. And it's the same sort of look, but it's in a Christmas theme, and I absolutely adore it. It is on my must-have list of cross-stitch patterns. So that is that one. And last week I showed a pattern that I was working on, a cross-stitch pattern that I had almost completed, and I'm happy to say that it's done. So this is Noel. It is completely stitched, as you can see. I really like the classic design of this one. The repetitiveness of the border is amazing to me. I really like the simplicity of the colors as well. I really, really enjoyed this one. I have not fully finished it, and I probably won't until closer to the holiday next year. But there we go. That is Noel, and it is complete. So that wraps up what I have been working on in my cross-stitching this week. So give me a few seconds and we will get into giveaways. All right, friends, it is time for some giveaway news. As always, I would appreciate if you're going to be entering to win some of this week's giveaways, please don't use the word giveaway. It would be nice if you were a subscriber. Please be over 18 so that you can give me your address. All right, I'm going to bend over again. I apologize. This is not my usual spot to record in, but yeah, nothing's working out today. And with having a cold, yeah. I'm just going with it. So give me one moment. All right. So last week I had a few giveaways that we did, starting with a cross-stitch chart of a pirate. And we did have some entries for that. Ida Fowler, you have won this chart. Please contact me at my email address that's listed in the description box below, and give me your mailing address so I can get this into the post for you. So Ida Fowler, congratulations, you've won the pirate chart. Next we have the child chart. a cute little chart of a young child carrying a book, because of course these are bookmarks. And this was won by Cindy Hearts Crochet. Congratulations, you've won the child chart. Please contact me via email, giving me your mailing address, and I will get this in the post to you. Congratulations again, Cindy Hearts Crochet. And finally, up for offer last week was a hook gauge for the crocheters out there. And this was won by Kathy Lawrence. Kathy Lawrence, congratulations. Please contact me via email with your address. All right, so that takes care of last week. I do have a couple of giveaways for this week. Before I get into those giveaways, however, I must ask that when you're entering these giveaways, of course, I want them for the viewers of the show, the viewers of the podcast. So like I said, please don't mention the word giveaway in your comments down below. I want this to be for people who are watching and not for bots and trolls. I won't be chasing people down who have won. So in order to know if you've won, you need to watch the next podcast when I announce the winners. If prizes remain unclaimed, I will eventually just put them back into my prize bucket and a new name will be drawn. All right, so moving right along to this week's giveaways. So let's start with the crocheters. For the crocheters out there, I have a set of crochet hooks. This is a 4mm and a 5mm hooks. They have soft handles on them. They came from the from Inside Crochet, the magazine Inside Crochet. It was one of the gifts that came along with the magazine. And I already have these ones, so I figured I could give these ones away. I use these hooks all the time, and they are very, very comfortable. I really like the soft handled hooks. Yeah, so that is a size 4mm and a size 5mm hooks that are up for grabs. If you would like to be entered to win the hooks, in your comments, just mention the word crochet hooks. That's what I'll be looking for. The words crochet hooks. All right, and for the cross stitchers out there, I have a little kit. It comes with the pattern, so the chart, it comes with Aida, it comes with floss, it comes with everything you need to create this little needle book, including all the instructions. So if you would like to win this little kit, so this would be perfect for somebody who hasn't done cross stitch before and would potentially like to try it out. It's a cute little kit, and I think everybody would enjoy it. It even comes with the little butterfly charm. So if you would like to win this chart, please in your comments put in I'd like to stitch the sunflowers, since those are sunflowers in the little jars, and you will be entered to win this little kit. So that is a needlebook kit, and it comes with everything you need to be able to do it. It even has the tapestry needle. So everything you need is here in this kit. In fact, I can show you the back because the pattern is hidden. So it comes with everything you need. So it says that it's got a butterfly charm, 2 pieces of yellow felt, stranded cotton, 14 count Aida, blue ribbon, needle, chart, and key. So you've got everything you need. I think that's a cute little giveaway. So as I said, if you'd like to win those, put the keywords in your comments down below, and I will draw next week for the winners of those patterns. If you won the patterns or the giveaways this week, so that's Ida Fowler, Cindy Hearts Crochet, and Kathy Lawrence, please contact me down below and I will get those out in the post to you. I know this has been a shorter episode than normal, but my voice is starting to go again. The past 2 days, I've had no voice at all, and no voice equals no podcast. So I am going to cut it off there. Thank you so much for joining me today for this short and sweet episode. I will be back again next week to announce the winners, potentially have a few more giveaways, and show you where I'm at in my crafty craziness. All right. Thank you so much. Again, the Nanton Cowl pattern released today, and it is available both in Etsy and on Ravelry as well. Thank you so much, everyone, for tuning in. If you liked what you saw, hit the thumbs up. Subscribe if you're not. I would love to see my subscribership growing, and that way you'll be notified, hopefully, when new episodes come up, and you won't miss if you win one of the giveaways. Yeah, that's about all. Take some time this week for some crafty goodness for yourself. Take care of yourself. Take care of each other. Remember to lift each other up and celebrate each other's successes. And I will see you all next week. Bye now.